Hey, I'm D'Angela.
And I'm David, and we're work spouses. Yep, you heard it right, but not the type that you're thinking of.
We realize you spend more time with people at work than you do with the people you love most.
We're going to discuss the interactions such as the games played at work, building the right and avoiding the wrong relationships. D'Angela and I, we're currently work spouses.
Join us each week as we testify, help, and complain about work in corporate America. Welcome, co-workers.
Hello,
David,
hello. How are you doing?
I see you. We have our matching glasses on.
Yes. These glasses are for people who are constantly staring at a computer screen and just want to get that glare. And
I think we're all staring at a computer screen more often these days than normal.
Glasses, then.
You said what?
Then everybody should have these glasses.
I agree. They're Amazon's finest.
Yes, they are, and they come in different colors.
Oh yeah, they do. Yes, we'll share the link. We got to share the link with everyone.
Yeah,
we should be.
Because just about everybody's working from home. I've been reading like some stories like some people are struggling with it still. That either they're working harder at home than they were in the office. Or it's just not as fun as they thought it would be. You know, like there's some people who always wanted to work from home, but then now they're forced to, and now they're like realizing, oh, it's not as fun as I thought.
Yeah, I think everyone was like, oh, this remote life would be ideal, but you really have to have a remote schedule. Like when you're working remotely, like you have to take breaks, like you have to get up because you're not in a normal office setting where someone can come to your office or you go to a meeting in another room. So I don't think people thought that through.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, you can be productive because depending on what kind of work you're doing as well. Yeah. Because of less distractions, yes, you could get more work done. The difference between, like I said, purposely working from teleworking versus being forced to now, you know, you have to deal with the kids and everybody else that's at home at the same time. So it's not a true accurate reflection if you're in that house with other people who would normally be at work or somewhere else.
That's true. That's true.
They're sucking up the bandwidth of the, you know, they're loud.
I actually thought about that, like how internet are being like, can people with internet handle this? You know, do we have the bandwidth within our cable package to manage so much? And electricity. Like I just thought about the things that that's going to increase this in the next 3 months, I guess, how long we're going to be here. Internet access, electricity.
Yeah.
Grocery bill is going to increase, but no one's eating out that much, so it's not like that matters.
Yeah. It's just, I think, are people eating more because they're at home?
Yes.
You know, and
that's all they have to do is eat.
and the crazy thing, because me and my wife were kind of talking today, she was like, you know, what do you want for dinner? Like, I'm almost tired of eating. And it's like, even though, you know, I consider her a good cook, and even if I was living with, you know, a chef, after a while you just get tired of just eating.
Yeah.
And eating from home or eating, you know, just out of the same repertoire. Even though I feel like we haven't repeated any meals yet, which is pretty nice to be in.
Yeah, but have they been different? Have they been different in the way of like flavor and taste?
Yeah, they're different, but it's just sometimes you just desire what the restaurant has to offer.
Yeah.
Or there's some things that she can't cook. Like she can't cook.
That's what I was gonna say, because the restaurant has a wider menu.
Right. Yeah, there's something. Yeah, Thai food. You're not gonna cook certain ethnicities.
See, that's what I was asking. Is it different? Because I just cooked Thai food tonight. Like I was heard cooking before we started the show, and I cooked a Thai dish.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm so glad I cooked this dish because I'm sick of eating, you know, normal quick stuff. But it was a quick Thai dish, so.
Right. I mean, the good thing is normally for breakfast, I get to order like what I want. Like I think the other day I said I wanted grits and sausage and toaster strudel. Right. And like then this morning, I said I wanted a scramble with bacon, eggs, cheese, onions, and potatoes. So it's like there is some.
Well, that's some things that you like because it's what you enjoy.
Yeah.
But you don't have a menu where you're like, I'm going to pick something on here and try something different. So when you get to choose, you keep choosing the same thing sometimes or what's in the same category.
Yeah, just about. Yeah. But
Okay.
it's still you just it's nothing like being able to break it up and do the restaurant food.
Oh, who are you telling?
Like even yesterday, like I think for lunch, I just ordered some coconut shrimp from Outback. I mean, I just need something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I miss, of course, me, the foodie, enjoy going to restaurants and trying new things. So I definitely miss my fair share of trying some happy hour menus after work and checking out some new up and coming restaurants. So
yeah. And,
I assume we'll get back to that and indulging.
So what we're talking about today?
Topic today is what? You tell me.
Let's talk about making your world great
again. Making the world great again. What kind of presidential campaign crap is this?
Making your world great again.
Oh, not my world.
Yeah, we can't make the world great. But other people, this.
How you assume my world isn't great?
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about you as D'Angelo. I'm talking about Dave. I'm talking about the whole audience. How can we give advice to make people's world great again, even though we're not in the world? But is there a way to do that? Yeah, I think there's a way, because this is a perfect opportunity to kind of get recentered and refocus as individuals.
Okay.
So we could throw out some things and we could entertain some things on how to make your world, the audience, great again. And maybe it was never great.
And maybe it was never great.
Yeah, sometimes when you say again,
you just assume.
Yeah. But of course, I use it off of Make America Great Again. But
I noticed. Yeah. Okay.
So I have some suggestions that I jotted down, and for me, it kind of just goes to the basics of people have basic core fundamentals, things that make of them what makes me may not make you, but to me, there's some basic things which is body, mind, and soul. When you can attend to those needs.
Okay.
And just get back to the basics. This is a great opportunity to push the reset button for people who are, working from home or constantly, home is where it is right now.
Although this is they can press the reset button, but that's just assuming motivational level. Like I know some people, it's hard for them to get motivated to do that because they feel like they're living in this Groundhog Day. Every day looks alike. They can't remember which day is which. All of it's blending together. It's like an extremely long weekend. I've heard people say those things. So it's just like, how do they actually stay, or how does one actually stay motivated to do other things outside of what they're actually being paid to do if they're working from home or working remotely? They have the ability to work remotely.
Right. So I would say, just to that question, because talking about motivation, a lot of the excuse is always, I don't have time to do this. Mm-hmm. Right now, we have time.
You have excuse. Nothing but time.
But now we talk about, okay, I have time, but I don't have the work ethics. I don't have the mentality to match the two to be the most productive person that I can be. So
wait, you say you don't have the what to match?
I have the time, but I don't have the mentality to match the two. Because my motivation level is low, whether I have time or I don't, but my motivation. So, so you definitely always think that your mind is so important. I always think that the mind is so fragile.
The mind is the vessel. Mm-hmm. The mind is the whole body's vessel that moves everything else.
Yeah, correct. And it starts at the mind. What you think is what you can become. I
Yes.
always, yeah, I always believe that. And
Snap
sometimes,
to David White, the poet here.
and sometimes, you have to envision yourself going through the process, whatever it is, the process of success, the process of completion,
Mm.
uh, before you can actually engage and put your hands to the work. Saying, let me give examples. So let's say, if we have a big meeting tomorrow, or sometimes you may lay in bed and you may go over it in your mind and say, this is how I'm going to approach it. This is what I'm going to pitch. If somebody says this is how I'm going to counter that. So there's a lot of interaction and things that are going on in your mind. So for people who have issues launching into purpose, launching into just movement to get things done, yeah, you have to start thinking like, where can I start? How can I get my mind ready? One of the things that I am a strong believer is creating a roadmap. So let's say I don't know. So let's say I want to. This is the time that I want to write a song. Or this is that I want to start a business where I'm going to create special hats,
Right.
or whatever the case. So
let's take it to a minimum level too. Let's take it to just something that they just didn't have the time to do prior to, that didn't consist of actually, a business is a larger task compared to some are smaller tasks that people can tackle that they just never had the opportunity to do.
Right. Or even, okay, I'm going to spend more time with my kids, or something simple like that, or date night with my husband, or my wife, even though we're stuck in the house, but we still got to do some date nights.
Or get to know them better.
I get to know them better. So how am I going to do it? I mean, so sometimes you have to write down what I'm trying to achieve and how can I get there. And sometimes if you don't trust yourself, then you can share it with someone that you respect, someone that has something that you got, and you can run it by them.
Okay.
Ask questions. Hey, ask Melissa, ask Paul, whoever. Ask them. How were you able to get to point A to point B? Because I remember you were at point A, but now I see you at point B, C, D, whatever. How can you get there? We have to be able to communicate our vision, not just to ourselves, but also to others that we think that can help us or hold us accountable to get to that place. But so back to the basics, that I'm thinking about, so body, mind. So these are the things that we all know have to be attended to,
right?
Have to be nurtured, just so you can be whole and complete, and you can be a complete person and a complete product.
Right.
So what do you do for your mind? Is there anything special that you do for your mind to keep yourself centered or to keep yourself, just not going crazy?
I think overall that I kind of got it figured out. Not to put like the, pat myself on the back, but because I've been unemployed, I have been able to hone in on how to keep me mentally stimulated to not go stir crazy being unemployed. Because I think if anybody who have experienced being unemployed, that right there would teach you a whole level of where your mind can go. Because not only are you unemployed, like now I'm not unemployed, but when I was unemployed, you have so many things to worry about, which I can imagine that those people in this predicament are officially unemployed. Because I've heard today that 6.6 million people filed for unemployment.
Yeah.
So there are people who are not receiving, a paycheck or income, and you just start thinking about everything else because that comes with bills, feed, so many other things that's involved. And that's when I feel like your mind and your mental capacity is tested onto, okay, what are the next steps? How do I go about it? What should I do first? What should I do last? What should I definitely jump into? How can I find some assistance? Whereas now, because of it's a pandemic going on, assistance is more readily available to individuals. oh, we all know there's a pandemic. You can call your creditors and say that, and they're offering, forbearances and delays before you even reach out to them.
Right.
Because ultimately they can't really handle the influx of calls. But because going back to, saying because I've been unemployed before, I've recognized how my mind works. And I think that's what really is important, is recognizing how you cope with things, and how you actually can then find solutions to coping even better while, getting or moving to the next phase of it, whether that's finding a job or doing something creative in your time that's not costly. So for me, what I have found is that I will more so say, okay, every day I'll put it in my calendar. It is file for unemployment, file for this benefits, call this creditor, call this up. Every day I will put it on my calendar just like randomly in a place. I mean, I don't have a job, so I can just say 2:00, 2:30, just put it on my calendar so it can remind me. Because I do think that you need distractions. So like I know a lot of people now in the pandemic are watching TV, a lot of TV. And I don't have no problem with that. Like people watching a lot of TV. I just can't watch TV that much. So I had to do other things, whether that was read a book or color something, coloring book. I don't know, adult coloring book, or I don't know what, skating, running, jogging, exercising, So when I was unemployed, I realized I needed 3 things to maintain sanity.
Okay.
And that was to be able to work out. So I kept my gym membership. And go to the movies. I had a movie card.
Okay.
And then the third one was like a wild card, like however I was feeling, I would go to a coffee shop and just kind of take my computer and apply for jobs at different coffee shops in my neighborhood or in other neighborhoods, just to get out the house and tap into free resources of visiting a museum I've never visited, go to an event during the middle of the day that I've never been able to go to, that's of course been free of charge. So I realized that was my way of saying, okay, while I'm going through all this, I can also do these things that I enjoy, because I love a movie. And I realized working out for me, although, we work out for physical benefits, the mental benefits of working out for me are far beyond like stretch of what I can imagine. Because physically, I don't get where I want to be over time, but the mental of it gets me there quicker. So my mind is clear. I'm not stressed anymore. I'm not feeling like I'm beating myself up, like stuff like that. But given that we're in a pandemic, we can't go anywhere as recreational because everything is shut down. So taking it to the pandemic realm of things, I think people should create a weekly to-do list. Don't do a monthly, don't do it, just do it every week. Things that you want to accomplish, so that you can constantly keep your mind thinking of those things week by week. So for me, I will create a weekly to-do list and say, hey, whether it's, you can put your work tasks on there too, and you can put your personal tasks on there, or you can split it up given your I guess your dynamic. So for you, David, your husband, so my husband duties to my wife, and then my duties to my kids, and then my duties to work, and then my duties to myself. So once you create a weekly task and you look at all those kind of 4 or 5 things, you can put something underneath one of them that you can accomplish in a week that would allow you to focus on it, to not get stirred crazy with waking up every day, turn on the TV and not taking your attention away from the TV. Because you need something to say, hey, I have something to complete, I have something to do, I have something to finish, and et cetera, et cetera. The hardest part is sticking to it, because you can make a list every week and never adhere to it.
Let me ask you this. So, because you live by yourself,
right.
and a woman, imagine if you were, whatever, younger or even your age right now, and you had a roommate, would you be able to, be locked up this long with another lady?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think I can handle a roommate, whether it was my boyfriend or my girlfriend, like one of my homegirls or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't think it would be a problem. I actually think it would be like, I say yes, and I don't know, but because on the flip side too, is like I don't know how they'll be taking this or what predicament they'll be in.
Right.
Like I don't know if they will have income or if they, because that can be another layer of stress that they're going through, and then it can tank the environment because they're so stressed out about not making ends meet. Like things like that. So
Yeah.
I can't say per se, but ideally if we both was working for home, I think we'd be able to come to some common ground and figure out how to give each other space as well as come together and enjoy each other in the same space, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I wonder how people who, there are a lot of people who have roommates, and it's a good situation because we're on different schedules, we can barely see each other, so they stay on their side, they clean up, they do their little part. But now, how is it now that we're always in this sharing the same space? Has that interrupted the relationship or changed the friendship or the arrangements? I wonder how people are dealing with that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you go to jail or something like that and you get bumped with someone, and everyone doesn't have the same emotional stability,
Right.
mental stability. And like, can you manage your own emotions while maintaining or managing somebody else's outbursts?
Well, that's what you're doing as a
Things like,
spouse.
yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, but
It's just on a high level now. You're just on a graduated level. It kind of hits you like a ton of bricks at the same time, all at once.
Yeah, because I'm getting to see how she responds to it. Yeah, because this is new for all spouses. To be so much in all families, to be so much up under each other for such a long period of time. And like thankful that we have space where everybody can get to their part of the house if they need some alone time. But yeah, it would be tough if we were, just in like a 2-bedroom apartment,
right,
or something like that.
Yes.
And going back to your point, like internet speed, because I remember I just got a new plan because of course I moved, so I always want a high plan because I like to do like
so much on it.
Online games, I like to stream and things like that. But there's a lot of people who just have the basic package and things like that.
Me.
So, but the good thing is you only have to care for yourself.
Right.
Because, like I'm down here working, I'm logged in, VPN into government sites for my son's on Netflix, or my wife may be on streaming something. You gotta have that bandwidth. But like I said, that's another business that's not hurting Verizon, AT&T, and all the mobile and communication services. They're winning. It's a good time to be an owner of entertainment, TV
packages. Yeah. And so how do you think, like, what is a typical day like for you? I don't know. I'm asking because I don't have a family, and I can only relate to friends and family, like friends, but I don't think I have or know anyone who has. Well, my godkids parents, there is 2 of them. They're both working from home, but they have kids that are under 3. So it's a little different because they're both working from home and it's demanding. And how do you keep a 3 and 2-year-old entertained? Because that's daycare level. You can't just send them in the corner and read a book like a 7-year-old, somebody like that. Right. So for you, what does a day-to-day look like for you, like when you're trying to work?
Well, yeah, I think this week, it's kind of got settled in. And for me, I try to get up like an hour and a half before everybody.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can have that time to myself. And it's great. And that's where I can, just figure out what I want to get done for the day. And if there's some things I just want to do by myself, I can do it at that time. It sounds weird, but yeah, that is true.
What?
Like, sometimes you just want to do things by yourself, or you want to by yourself and not be bothered or whatever. So The funny thing is, I was doing a conference today with one of my little mentees, and the topic was leading during a crisis. Leadership during crisis, and I'm going to put my school's district on blast right now. So Howard County, they kind of dropped the ball. So Howard County, to me, I was told that they're a great school district in
Yeah,
Maryland.
they are. They're considerably one of the best school districts in the area.
Correct. So my son's been home for at least 3 weeks, going on 4 weeks, the 8-year-old, third grade, and they have not launched the online learning yet.
Really?
No, they have not given out any curricula, any homework.
No way.
Yeah. So every day I've been having to assign and create work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for my 8-year-old. So they finally, they sent a message saying they were working on it. They said it's not going to be up for the elementary level until April 24th. So we still got
2 weeks.
Yeah, so we still got some time. So they were not prepared for this crisis.
Who was? Because clearly our president wasn't either.
He was. He went, but my son, who was my oldest son, who was in LA, they got online and virtual learning the same week it went. Yeah. So some districts were prepared. So that has been part of my day in terms of spending some time with the 80-year-old, creating. He's doing a book report right now that I created for him to do, and working on his writing. And I'm being. So you're homeschooling
without the schooling to back you, basically. You're doing it in your own curriculum, like what he may need to learn or figure out, or because you haven't been. I mean, I know you've been involved in his schooling, but you haven't been involved to the point where you're actually there teaching him to that all-day level. So
keeping him engaged and things like that, and make sure that he does it. So I honestly, I'm only making him do work. He logs down from 11 to 2. 11 to 2 is no entertainment. It's all work 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
So in the morning time, he gets to, mess around, whatever. We do that. We do the homework. Today was a little longer. Today might have been 11 to 3 because we're just trying to finish this final write-up.
Okay.
So I spent time with him. My wife and the 2-year-old, they come down and, they want to talk. Sometimes I got to do some phone calls. Sometimes I got to do some emails. So I'm working, but then at the same time, I'm,
you're still busy.
Eating, things like that. Is it hard? No, it's just multitasking.
Yeah.
But it's not hard because it's still rewarding because between emails, between phone calls.
Quality time with your family. You're spending quality. Yeah.
Right.
So I find that my days go by faster. My days are not moving slow at all. I have not. I mean, now there are some days, but it's probably out of the time period that we've been working remotely, I can say that there's maybe been once a week that I've experienced where it's like a day is like, oh, I'm not ready to clock out yet. But usually I look up and it's time for me to clock out. Then the evening starts and I get ready for the evening stuff because I separate those things I'm in my office the entire day other than to go and get food or I'm making a walk around just to kind of stretch my legs. I ordered a standing desk so I can kind of stand up and sit down every so often to stretch and stuff. But other than that, I'm standing in my office working until I'm clocking out. And then I'm transitioning into the rest of the areas in my home. So I'm getting ready for dinner. So I'm doing the same things I would normally do if I had to commute back and forth home from work. Only thing is I just gotta move around some more. So I'm challenging myself. And I think if you can, you should do it with me because I'm not an outdoor runner.
Okay, yeah.
So I think, and we should, our coworkers, you all can join in on the fun too. I work out. Yes, I love my HIIT training, but y'all, I am not an outdoor runner. I aspire to be. I think it's so cool. So I'm going to download the Nike app.
Okay.
And try to run. My first run, I'm gonna try Saturday.
Yeah. So, I think being out here in terms of Maryland, this is the best time to run in spring.
Well, I heard that. I don't know because I don't like to really be running when it's cold. Since I discovered the little running trail by my house, running, biking, walking trail. I was like, they just built this right next. I mean, they literally built it right next door to my place. Like it just kind of popped up out of nowhere, and I just noticed it. So I'm like, oh, so I feel like it's the opportune time to still maintain my workout regimen for my running because I know I need to run. Like that's cardio. I need intense cardio. So I said I'm going to challenge myself to do that and probably get anyone else who can join me and do it as well. And I know that you have told me before that you run. So I'm going to try to do it a few times a week when the weather permits, as I see that the weather has constantly been getting like a little warm. We have constant a few days, even if it's raining. The evenings have been really beautiful. So I was like, you know what, let me get started now with the little kickstart so that by the time it gets really warm, I can kind of like get out there and continue this as the months go on and we're still working remotely so that I can kind of incorporate that into my schedule too during the week. Like at least say 3 times a week or maybe 2 times a week and maybe twice on the weekends or something like that.
Right. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, I think you almost, if you know, for people who don't even like to run, you just have to get out of the house just to even take a walk. I mean, even though it's funny because everybody's behavior is kind of very iffy right now. Like I was out walking yesterday with the 2-year-old, and I saw my neighbor, and we wanted to talk, but
given the climate, he's like,
right, yeah. And I just met him, and we have some things in common. We both have young kids, both African American males, things like that, and. I wanted, we wanted to shake hands. Hey, welcome to the neighborhood, but you can't do none of that stuff. He's like, hey, and you're talking from like 6
feet. Hey, how are you doing over there? I was like,
you. Then you just want to have a conversation and talk about things. Then it's like, oh, I guess we'll catch up, right. So I was talking to, I talked to a few people today, and I want to know your thoughts about, okay, we got the virus, the COVID-19 going on, and we think that it's, I think it's going to go on to the end of May, like in terms of working from home.
Yes, me too. But we talked about that in our last episode where we put the bet, like I was saying, I think it's going to be.
Yeah. Okay.
So you changed yours to the end of May, so that means I won already. Woo!
I said May 20th.
You said May 2019. Oh, did I say before? Because you said to the 20th, and I said before because I knew it was going to be the end of May. So yeah.
Right. So,
but that's what we both had the same idea.
But I don't think that everybody could just jumpstart and go back into it. I think they're going to have to stagger people in.
Yep.
To make sure that it's okay and that there's no new episodes and things like that. So I really don't see a full scale of people and they're back to normal until really like July.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that they're talking about, I don't know if you've seen it as well, they're talking about when it's supposed to peak again.
Okay, right.
Again, like that's the operative word to me. It's like again, like because the thing is that they didn't take the precautionary measures that they needed to take when it was already happening. So now that they made everyone self-quarantine, they don't now know who's actually isolated, who's still underway with it. True story. My girlfriend, one of my girlfriends were doing the home delivery, like DoorDash. Okay. And she was like, she's doing only deliveries that consist of no contact. So she would leave the food on the porch or on the step or wherever however the setup is. She said that one of the people that she was, they didn't say in their deliveries thing, everyone's normally saying, hey, you can leave the food on the step or in this place, to keep social distancing, in order. Whereas in this one house didn't say that. So she said, I do my normal reaching out and say, hey, I'm going to leave this here. And the person responded and said, yes, we prefer that because we actually all have COVID-19. And I was just like, the crazy thing about this is that like, those are the people that, although they're in a house self-quarantining, they can't really even go out to society and get groceries.
Right.
Or get toiletries. Right. Or get, the things that are essential. that they need in the house without possibly affecting someone else.
Right.
They almost need to go out in the hazmat suit. You almost need to be like in a bright hazmat suit and to do anything.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like we can't get back to normal until there's actually a test and everybody is actually tested.
They don't have resources to do that. Like what happened. What I foresee, honestly, is that we should go back to our normal way of living earlier than possible. Reason being is because the sooner we go back out to doing it, the most likely you'll be able to help and aid with it not peaking so much again, because you don't know who has it and what's going to happen, or if they're asymptomatic. If you're asymptomatic, you can have it for 2 additional weeks. So us being home until July or August or for 3 more months wouldn't matter, because when we go back out for 3 more months later, it would still be in the same situation. So you see what I mean? Like,
no, but it's the unknown. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, we can go back to work, but
so what you kind of saying, like, telling everyone to self-quarantine.
Yeah, your coworker might not know that they got it and they got to go back to work,
right?
Or they grabbed it on the subway on the way to work. You know,
the thing is, I'm hoping that. So this is my thing. Is like, yes, nobody knows who's going to have it or who continue to have it. I think people are going to have it until the end of the year, to be honest with you. So until they get the proper resources to test those people who come in and think they have it. But I think that given the knowledge that we know about it as a nation, everyone would take more cautionary measures with washing their hands, not touching all surfaces, not touching their face, doing those things. But it's not preventative at this point, even if everyone stay in the house now and then go out later, because you do not know, and we cannot identify those individuals who are asymptomatic. So the point is that I'm saying is that whether we stay in now and wait 2 months later to go out or a month later to go out, it still can be a peak at any given time, because you're not going to be able to control a situation that's not even out and operating. Because if people got to go back to a normal office, a normal environment, but I think we have more knowledge now than we did before. So I would assume that across the nation, everyone is a little bit more knowledgeable about washing their hands, touching things. I mean, wear your mask in the office, do what you need to do,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't have the answers to it, of course, but I just don't think that there's no cure for people staying at home when you don't know the households. Like so many people are honest that they have it and don't have it.
I mean, that's why we have to stay at home, just because there is no best way to move forward, because so many people, it's so rapid, and it's in the detecting of it makes it more
difficult.
Scary. Yeah, more difficult.
Because people are, although we're staying home and self-quarantining, we're still going out to get essential things. People are still out in the and still who have it. They got to go out.
That's why I think, like I said, the first phase would have to be, most of the businesses are going to have to start with the skeleton crew. And that's going to have to go for like 3 weeks to make sure that this can work.
Yeah.
They slowly start adding. But even that, like I said, they're going to try to force everybody to vaccines. And you're not going to be able to go back to work until you get a vaccine.
Wow. I didn't think of that.
I'm not down with the vaccine.
I'm not getting a vaccine either.
Right. So,
especially not a vaccine that hasn't been proven to utilize over and over again. Like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is my idea of how zombies are made. You know how we see all these zombie movies, and I do think that they're real, but I think that they're real in the way in which, of course, TV make it dramatic, dramatize was the word I was looking for. The emphasis of drama of zombies, right? I was drawing a blank there. So I feel like TV does that, but I feel like this is how zombies made. you all have to get a vaccine for something, or everyone has a vaccine already. And think about the asymptomatic. Those who are affected or not affected are ones who are asymptomatic, or those who are not are non-asymptomatic. So some of them so the asymptomatic ones turn into zombies, where the other ones don't, and then there's zombies trying to feed on the asymptomatic people. Like that's kind of zombies in my mind of how I view that. Is like you have some type of genetically makeup, because it's genetics, that it don't necessarily affect you the same way. So somebody's going to become a zombie and somebody's going to be fighting for their life to not become a zombie. So and that's what vaccines are. Like you never know how genetically each body type is going to take to that, even if they're in the same bloodline.
Yeah, I'm not taking a vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's tricky, and I do think there's probably a conspiracy behind it. There's probably something on the background more to this. Definitely think that Trump's gonna be the president again.
You do?
Yeah.
No, please no. We cannot go through another 4 years.
There's too much distraction. The other candidacies, they can't even have no convention.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's set up for him to win again based on.
That's why he took his time on actually getting ahead of this.
You said what?
He took his time on actually getting ahead of this.
Yeah.
Because he knew how much it would shut down everything and how far it would go, and that put people in their fear. People got to go to the polls. They got to go out to the nation and stuff like that. So
this is not the time to change leadership. We need to see this through up under one leader. I can see all kinds to this thing. And I was talking to so now another just dealing with the times and everything and how people got to adjust. I was talking to another coworker today on the phone, a lady coworker, and just talking about virtual dating. I think it's a good time to actually get to know someone right now.
You do,
and just in terms of if there's someone that you wanted to talk to, and just get to know them. This is a good time where it's strictly we have to talk and get to know each other. Then you see how they are dealing with this circumstance, and then sometimes you can make out what a person is based on how they deal with crisis, how they deal with change, and things like that. If they make eliminate our limits,
right. So what is their experience like getting to know them? I mean, since you're communicating.
So they said they started talking to someone right when it started happening, and the guy suggested, well, maybe we go on a walk or something like that. We can talk, but she's like, that'll be out because I don't know you, so therefore I don't know who you're around, so I'm going to want to keep that 6 feet distance. But then it's like I walk with nobody that I gotta talk with. I'm trying to get to know them, and they're 6 feet away. So she was like, let's just talk, online.
Interesting.
And do the Zoom and things like that and Skype.
I really don't think there's harm in getting to know someone, like going out and having a walk with somebody. I think the harm is not knowing your surroundings. Like if she had like elderly parents or something like that, then I could see not going back home to that. If she's a single person that live at home, he's a single person that live at home, it's different. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You have to go back to somebody and you possibly like a family member or families or, sisters, somebody who possibly, because you taking a risk on your own is a risk on your own. And I don't think at this point, no one's risking their lives as well as, others, because they don't want it either to die, because people are dying from this.
Right.
So I think it's not really, the circumstances are making us believe like, yes, you need to not date as much as you did socially, but social distancing don't necessarily mean not to be with be around. It's basically saying don't be around groups of people because you can be affected out of those groups of people. You see what I mean? I think the idea of social distancing, people are taking it as an isolation, and that's not. social distancing, really. If you're going to the grocery store, you're around much more strangers than the person that you actually been talking to for weeks. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a thing that everybody's just kind of in a fearful place, so they're being very cautious, which they should. Yes, I agree, but I'm social distancing, but I'm not around large groups, if that makes sense. Like, and I'm doing exactly what social distancing means, and I'm not isolating. I'm not. I've been around people. We talk constantly every day, but I don't see them every day. Of course, what's going on, but we definitely chat. But I'm not.
But you're saying the people that you're around, they're not around many people.
Well, yeah, we're both cautious. We're all cautious, even friends. Like, we're only, like, I've seen them in the past few months, but they're close friends. So they're the only people that I'm actually seeing since a month ago, like.
So in the last 7 days, have you seen anybody? Like, in person?
Anybody new? No.
Okay, nobody. But I'm just saying, even just a regular friend, a regular associate that you hang with.
Yeah, maybe like a week ago.
Okay.
Like I've seen it, like a girlfriend has came over. We went walking. Huh?
Did you give her a hug? Goodbye?
No, we're not hugging. We're practicing social distancing, and I think that's what people don't understand about what social distancing means. It means you can be around people, but they're just saying don't be around large groups of people who possibly may be affected because you don't know who they're around. But I feel like if you're having that communication with those same people within a month or 2 months, it's okay to be around those same people.
But my point, I see what you're saying, but my point is, I think that it has created a fear.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
Which we say, being cautious, but even people that you normally want to hug and handshake that you normally see on a regular basis.
Wait, your sound is messing up again. So I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, there's some glitches on the end too, but I was just going through it. But can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you sound really, really far away. I don't want to continue like this. So let's let's kind of like wrap it up. Because when I heard the audio from last week, it was bad.
Okay, can we wrap it up? Go ahead, wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up and just kind of like reconvene. I'm sure we'll be talking about more of, keeping it light. Because I do have a virtual date tonight. So I guess we can discuss that the next time. So until next time, coworkers.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all. Today's episode of Work Spouse.
We would love for you to subscribe and leave a review. We welcome all feedback.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at WorkSpousePod or email us any questions at thyworkspouse@gmail.com. That's THYWORKSPOUSE@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe for updates on future shows.
Until next time, coworkers.